Welcome to Look on the Flip Side, a podcast where we get to take a behind the scenes look at stand up comics, actors, writers, improvisers, and musical improvisers. From Flipside Theater in Superior, Colorado, I'm your host, Jenny Remack. Now let's go look on the flip side. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Look on the Flip Side. Today, I have a very special guest with me. Joshua does most of their work behind the scenes, sometimes venturing into contact with actual people for reasons that remain a mystery to them. The Flipside Theater has provided somewhat of a sanctuary where they can explore different ways of interacting with the world. They want to be funny, especially when it seems so difficult to laugh. Joshua is an improviser, a stand-up comedian, a fantastic host, a box office extraordinaire. Please help me welcome to the stage, Joshua! Woo!
Yay!
I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, of course. Thank you
That's
for having
awesome.
me.
Of course, yes. So, what inspired you to get into comedy?
Um, well, I've always liked comedy, and I've always liked performing, and spent too much of my life not doing that. So when the opportunity presented itself, I jumped.
Jumped. Both feet.
Yep.
Both feet. Yeah. And so your first opportunity with comedy, was that Flipside or was that a different
I mean,
place?
it was through Superior Improv. I took Christy Buckley's stand-up class.
Oh, yes, yes. Amazing. And so you took the stand-up class and how has that like influenced your life doing stand-up?
I haven't done terribly much actual stand-up. So, don't know how much that's influenced my life, but getting myself involved with the theater
Mm-hmm.
has definitely. I mean, I've met some phenomenal people, yourself included,
Oh, thank
and discovered I also enjoy improv and acting and that stuff. So, yeah,
you. Yeah.
it's done a lot.
You've done a lot. I mean, and yeah, and I've been on this journey with you now for, I mean, I think it's been at least a year, maybe 2 years, couple years we've been doing this, hanging out. And so I've watched you do stand up. I've watched you do improv. I get to play with you on a team. It's so much
Yes.
fun. And you've been very open about your mental health. And
Mhm.
so how has comedy helped you kind of navigate some of this?
Well, I find that if you can laugh at things, it kind of takes something away from them. They have less power over you. They have less negative impact in your life if you can laugh. So,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so when you are laughing, you're not so covered in and what actually do you have that's been going on that you've been navigating through?
well, I've been through a series of diagnoses,
Okay.
starting in second grade with ADHD. I was
Mm-hmm.
medicated for that through ninth grade. Was diagnosed with major depressive disorder late high school. Was on drugs for that for a little over a decade. There was a bipolar type 2 diagnosis in there in my mid 20s. Um, but as far as those go, they've since shown to be less accurate with a recent autism diagnosis that kind of made a lot more sense out of all that shit.
Okay, so you feel like autism, you resonate with that. You think that that's been um
It
the diagnosis that fits?
It made all the things that never made sense about the depression diagnosis and the bipolar diagnosis like click. And the
Okay.
ADHD is probably concurrent, or it's definitely also concurrent, but yeah, it was more autistic burnout than actual depression or bipolar.
Okay.
So yeah,
So you mentioned autistic burnout. I haven't heard that term. How would you describe that?
it's stems a lot from trying to make my square peg fit into the round hole of the world. Um,
Mm, okay.
it takes a lot of energy to pretend to be normal. So doing too much of that and using various substances, both illegal and not, to try to make that happen is
Mm,
most likely what led to depressed mood.
okay. So yeah, getting into different kind of substances. And so where do you find yourself now with using substances and like your diagnosis?
I made the decision about 10 years ago to completely clear myself out to
Mm,
kind of see what was affecting me, how, and what might be useful to introduce back in.
mm-hmm.
Um, I currently am drinking coffee and taking Vyvanse. And the
Okay.
Vyvanse is the new thing, seems to be somewhat helpful. But
Nice.
that's pretty much all I do aside from the occasional psychedelic journey.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
Those are quite helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I did quite a bit of that in my college career. Little little day tripping. So, what what might you say to someone who has been maybe battling with like mental health, maybe major depression, or they've had just some difficulties with navigating life? Like, how would you approach them about the comedy, like how it's helped you?
um, I don't know that comedy would necessarily help them
Hmm.
because we're all different. We all interact with the world differently. My
True.
biggest piece of advice would be to trust yourself.
Mm,
If you feel like your doctors are wrong, try another doctor. If you feel like there's something that they're not paying attention to, get them to pay attention to it. You know yourself better than anyone else, and most of my problems came from trying to be what other people wanted me to be.
mm.
And yeah, being
That's such
me
a big
for me
thing. Yeah.
has been truly life changing, and comedy is a part of that. Because
I love
I'm
that you brought that up because thank you. Yeah, like be true to yourself, right? Because I think so many of us, myself included, I like to call myself a recovering people pleaser because I used to do
yep.
everything for everybody else, or at least what I thought, everybody else wanted me to be or do. And so by being able to be true to yourself and like really come back home, sounds like that's been really fulfilling for you.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's huge. And not a lot of people even get to that point because they don't even know how to stop the people pleasing. So like what's one strategy or one way you were able to kind of return to yourself through all that?
Well, I was lucky in the respect that I had supportive parents at that point in my life
Hmm.
because what I really needed was time, not having to play the world's games
Mm,
and actually do some serious introspection and figure out who I was underneath all of it, what I really wanted in my life and how to maybe try to get there. Um, if I didn't have the support from family that I did, um, I am 100% sure right now I would be homeless and probably involved in various unsavory things.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm so glad you've got parents that are amazing that have supported you, and also that you were able to take the time to really do some introspection and really, take a deep dive into who is Joshua and what does Joshua like want to do. And I'm
Yep.
so glad that comedy was one thing that you decided you wanted to do. And improv is a beautiful place for me. What I've realized is getting back in touch with my emotions
Mm-hmm.
and really being able to express them on stage. And so I've had bouts of depression. I've never been formally, I mean, I've been diagnosed with depression in college, but I haven't been like on any medication currently or any of that. I do notice though that I fall into different patterns where I can get, pretty sad or pretty low. And what I've noticed is the more improv that I've done, the more community that we've built through Flipside, the less often I'm experiencing this. Have you experienced similar
Yeah,
similar
for
things
sure.
with that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
community really helps.
yeah,
Um, and the flip side has been fantastic in that regard.
it's amazing. And improv too with emotions. Have you noticed for my it was really hard for me to be expressive, especially being a people pleaser. And so you were talking about that earlier too, like doing things for others. And now you get to go and you get to play and you get to express. Like, how has that influenced the way your relationship is with your emotions?
Well, I by the time I got to improv, I had developed a pretty solid relationship with my emotions.
Okay.
So improv is just a place for me to play and
Yeah,
enjoy.
for sure. And speaking of playing and enjoying, you are on a couple different teams. So I know you've been playing with Be Kind Rewind. You've done
Yep,
some rescripted cinema stuff.
yep.
When when can we find you on stage next?
Next chance to see me on stage with one of those groups is July 12th with Be Kind Rewind.
Awesome.
Um, and I don't remember the exact date for Rescripted Cinema, but I believe it's the third Friday in July, if I remember right.
Amazing. And give us just a little teaser about like rescripted cinema. How would you even explain what that is? So fun.
Um, so with Rescripted Cinema, we take clips of movies that you have, in all likelihood, never seen before. We take out the audio and perform the parts live, improvised, um, based on audience suggestion.
Oh my God, it's such a fun experience, right? Like
It,
being able to
it's
just,
a lot of fun, yeah.
yeah, like in the moment dubbing, in the moment just kind of like trying to bring to life what you just saw in a minute or two long clip,
Yep.
and keep it going on stage. So, well, Joshua, thank you so much for coming to the studio today. Thank you so much for talking to us and sharing a bit about you and your journey with the Flipside Theater. And anything else you'd like to share about before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Okay. Well, Joshua, thank you so much. And I appreciate you coming on the show. And I will see you on the flip
On the
side.
flip side.